Coming up, President Trump's taxes have been leaked to the public and is causing controversy. And UNT's food pantry is now open and helping out for those affected by COVID-19.
And here on the square, a local event aimed at lifting people's spirits. We'll have more for you later in the show.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Alyssa Weems.
And I'm Andrew Fancher. While the United States makes up 4% of the U.S. population, it makes up more than 20% of the world's COVID-19 cases. Because of this, COVID testing is immensely important. This week, the Trump administration is expected to announce the shipment of millions of rapid coronavirus tests throughout the country. Though experts warn these tests are less accurate than older versions. But as COVID testing becomes more available, flu shots are running out. The flu is expected to hit the country harder than ever before. Experts highly encourage people to be vaccinated by the end of October to give your body enough time to form immunities. Luckily for UNT students, COVID tests and flu vaccines are available for free to each student. Now, COVID-19 and flu seasons are causing a lot of changes in the world. As a result, people are being affected physically and mentally, including students from our campus. Asmar has more.
As we fight our way through the COVID-19 pandemic and its changes, it is easy to feel stressed and overwhelmed. As the schools across the country reopened, the students and faculty are required to take mandatory social distancing precautions. At the time when there is so much focus on our physical health, it is important to keep in mind the effects this pandemic has had on mental health of students. The University of North Texas understands that mental health is an important topic and offers counseling on the campus. Dennis Apker is a licensed counselor at the university who says lack of socializing might be taking a toll on the mental health of students who are already stressed due to college load.
So I'd recommend reaching out. I'd recommend getting creative as far as how you connect with people. I think it's pretty common to sort of play games with your friends over internet now, and that's kind of taken the place of kind of getting together at a restaurant or whatever.
Emily Love is one of the students who had to deal with mental health issues during this pandemic.
I believe it has definitely affected my ability to learn. I'm not very good at doing online learning, so I definitely have noticed the lack of motivation when it comes to wanting to learn new material. I love my classes and my professors have been very understanding, but it's just I'm such a visual learner that it's affected me in every way possible.
The counseling center is located on the 3rd floor of Chestnut Hall at the university. As the doctors continue to emphasize on social distancing measures, we are still not sure when the first COVID-19 vaccine will be available in the market. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Asmar. Another concern for some UNT students is simply putting food on the table. That's where the UNT food pantry comes in. The pantry is stocked and open for students who are in need of food or supplies. It's located in the back of Crumbly Hall. In March, when the stay-at-home order was issued, the food pantry was shut down. Staff members had to throw out expired food. Through an increase of donations from the Denton community, the food pantry has restocked its food for people facing food insecurity. But Student Services Coordinator Caitlin Edgar says the pandemic has impacted the pantry's average number of students they help.
Recently started, so on average, I would say that we have anywhere from 15 to 20 students a week, which those numbers are still pretty low. Because during an average week, if we were allowing students to come in here, grab their own food, and then be able to, just walk out and walk in whenever they want. And so on those average weeks, we would have anywhere from 20 to 60 students.
The food pantry is open Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Fridays, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Individuals interested in helping can go to the Dean of Students office to drop off a donation.
Well, Alyssa, I sure am glad the wind has calmed down from last night.
Me too, Andrew. Let's go over to Blake Leyland to find out if this wind will continue throughout the week. Blake?
You're absolutely, Alyssa. It's going to be a nice breeze with about 18 miles per hour, and your temperature is going to be 75. It's nice and sunny outside. Let's go to tonight. And it is going to cool down a bit. The wind temperature is going to stay the same at 18 miles per hour. And now let's go to tomorrow. Tomorrow you're looking at a bit warmer temperatures. It's going to be 80 degrees, and the wind's going to calm down a little. It's just going to be 12 miles per hour. That's all I have for you now. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Blake. Well, as far as we know, early voting is coming up. ntTV's Hannah Gonzalez is at the Denton County Elections Administration to tell us more. Hannah?
Thanks, Alyssa. I'm at one of the many locations where Denton residents can register and vote for the upcoming election. A few other locations available for early voting are the UNT Gateway Center, Denton Civil Center, or the North and South Branch Library. Registration does end on Monday, October 5th. Texas residents can request an application online, which will be sent in the mail. Early voting will begin on October 13th, lasting until October 30th. This is highly encouraged to help limit exposure to COVID-19. If you aren't able to early vote, voting day is on Tuesday, November 3rd. That's all I have. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Hannah. Now, of course, we all know that voting is important, and even Barbie is getting into the act. Mattel has relaunched their She Hero doll featuring activist and actress Yari Shahidi, but this time she sports a Vote t-shirt. Mattel says the doll will be available to ship by October 9th, well ahead of the November election.
Up next, President Trump is causing controversy throughout the nation.
And later, a sandwich that will help out veterans through proceeds. Stay with us. President Trump's taxes were released to the public this morning. These records have been a highly controversial issue since the 2016 election. Today, the New York Times reported President Trump paid a lot less in federal income taxes than the average working American.
Just 2 days before the first presidential debate, a new report revealing some of the information President Trump's worked hardest to hide. his tax returns. A New York Times investigation says Trump paid only $750 in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017. Soon after the report published, the president called it fake news, saying he's paid a lot of taxes. But the Times reports the president has been fighting with the IRS for years over a nearly $73 million tax refund he claimed. If he loses that battle, it could cost him over $100 million. The Times also says Trump paid no federal income taxes in 10 of the 15 years before he became president, because he reported losing much more money than he made. This, another detail in the Times investigation painting a damning portrait of Trump's success as a businessman, a selling point he used to rally supporters on the campaign trail. Adding to that, the Times reported last year that based on tax forms from 1985 to 1994, he lost more money than nearly any other individual American taxpayer. The report also reveals the president has spent nearly all of the $427 million he made on the TV show The Apprentice to help fund his other businesses, and owes more than $300 million in loans that he's personally responsible for over the next 4 years.
But President Trump and his taxes aren't the only big story in Washington. The fate of Ruth Bader Ginsburg's seat on the Supreme Court is still up in the air, and the president continues to fight to nominate a new Supreme Court justice. CNN's Britt Conway has more.
Adding fuel to the already heated Supreme Court debate. On Sunday, Joe Biden criticized President Trump and the Republican-led Senate for moving too fast with the nomination.
The Senate has to stand strong for our democracy. They must not act on this nomination until the American people finish the process they're already begun of selecting their president and their Congress.
It comes one day after President Trump unveiled conservative federal appeals court judge Amy Coney Barrett as his pick to replace the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
A vote for Amy Coney Barrett is a vote to decimate the health care that so many Americans need.
That move has angered top Democrats, who say the nomination could lead to the repeal of the Affordable Health Care Act, also known as Obamacare, when the case goes before the justices.
That is why he was in such a hurry, so he could have someone in place for the oral arguments, which begin November 10th.
In a tweet on Sunday, President Trump said if the court struck down the ACA, it would be a, quote, big win for the country. And the White House says GOP leaders are ready to deliver a quick nomination.
We've been in conversations with Leader McConnell, with Chairman Graham. He is going to put forth a pretty aggressive schedule for hearings and markups that we believe will happen in the middle part of October.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
More than 50,000 people are being evacuated from Northern California's wine country because of a wildfire that broke out Sunday. The fires began in the Napa-Sonoma wine country just above San Francisco. This occurred on the third anniversary of a deadly wildfire that broke out in 2017, killing 22 people. The flames are currently moving south and have already engulfed more than 2,500 acres, displacing nearly 2,000 residents. A nearby assisted living center boarded its residents in brightly lit city buses, while the Adventist Health St. Helena's Hospital suspended all its care, transferring their patients elsewhere. Meanwhile, Texas firefighters and Southwest Airlines are teaming up to help battle those fires. Southwest is flying nearly 170 firefighters to California. These firefighters will be relieving the 170 Texans already there that have been on the field for 2 weeks.
And while firefighters have been battling the fires in California, we have been battling the Texas heat.
But luckily, it's getting cooler outside. Let's get back to Blake to see if those cooler temperatures will continue. Blake?
It is looking like those cooler temperatures will continue, but before we get to that, let's get across what weather is like around North Texas. Now, as you can see, Denton 75, Dallas 78. You can look in Paris, it's 73. Now, if we get to the bigger picture here, just around the state, you can see down in Houston, it is 73. It's pretty cool all around the state, really. Up there in Oklahoma City, got 72. In Austin, it is a bit hot in Austin with 80. Now, let's get to the full week's weather. Now it's going to be some pretty nice temperatures for you this week. Going to be in the high 50s, low 60s around for your lows, and for your highs, you're going to be seeing some low 80s and high 70s. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Blake. With it being only open for a few months, Patriot Sandwich Company is already making an impact on veterans around the Metroplex. Along with raising money for homeless vets, the company holds some pretty special memorabilia. Here, history is always served hot.
Here at Patriot Sandwich Shop in Denton, no veteran ever stands alone in their fight for rehabilitation.
You know, the veterans love it because it gives them a taste of what they had when they served. It brings back memories that a lot of them can't share with everybody.
Along with 9 unique sandwiches, the shop also has memorabilia you can't find anywhere else.
It's almost like a museum when you walk in with a unique dining experience. People can walk in here and they're going to see pictures that they may have never seen before.
The shop opened on February 17th, but has been in the works for over 4 years.
So I've known David for about 4 years, and I helped him with his other nonprofit, and when he started talking about the sandwich company and how he's going to help honor our veterans and our active duty military, it's very important to me to be a part of that.
However, this was more than just a company for David.
5 years ago, I was a homeless veteran and tried to commit suicide. So for me to have come this far in 5 years, have a successful charity, and now running the shop, I've been blessed.
In the future, David hopes to one day expand on his restaurant to help more lives of homeless veterans in the DFW area.
The great thing I've done with this shop is allowed every veteran to be able to come in here regardless of branch and feel welcome and like they belong. From the Army wall, the Navy wall, the Marine Corps wall behind me here, the Coast Guard wall, the Air Force wall, every branch is represented, but when it comes right down to it, we will always stand together, and we will always defend this country, no matter what.
If you would like to take a visit, Patriot Sandwich Company is located off Loop 288.
That's a terrific story, Alyssa. Makes me want to purchase a sandwich just to help. Well, up next, the Denton Arts and Auto Show will be taking some new precautions this year.
And later, some nostalgic cereals are making a comeback this year. Stay with us.
Every year, 40%
COVID-19 has caused many events to be canceled or postponed for a later date. However, some organizations have found creative ways to still get things done.
That's right, Andrew. Some places have gotten up and running despite the pandemic, however, with a few key changes. I'm standing in the historic downtown Denton Square near the Wells Fargo Bank building, where the Arts and Autos cruise will take place. The cruise will start on October 10th at 9 a.m. in this very parking lot. The cars will make their way to the Good Samaritan Society on Ryan Road, and this will be the third cruise this year, a new addition to the Denton Main Street Association's calendar. In previous year, the event was held as an annual party. However, due to COVID-19, social distancing guidelines are now in place. The cruise will consist of classic cars, trucks, and motorcycles driving down Ryan Road in parade style. The drivers will make their way past local medical centers, children's hospitals, and assisted living centers. The goal is to give people in these centers a sense of joy from witnessing these cool rides. Registration is $25 and includes a t-shirt, a bag of coupons for local vendors. If you're looking for cool rides, this is your place. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Blaine. That sounds like a great event. But you know, one of the things I love about fall is Halloween. Not so much for the scary costumes, but for the unusual foods that seem to pop up, and this year is no exception. Sonic Drive-In has come up with a tricky treat for the season, 2 Halloween frozen desserts. You can get 3 of your favorite treats blended into one vanilla shake. That would be mini M&Ms, Snickers pieces, and Oreo cookie bites. And if you don't want vanilla ice cream, you can get it in chocolate with more chocolate sauce. But if ice cream trick-or-treat desserts aren't your idea of comfort food, how about your childhood favorite cereals? General Mills is bringing in a big way the cereals you ate as a kid, watching cartoons on Saturday morning. Cookie Crisp, Trix, and Cocoa Puffs are just a few of the flavors getting a reboot at the grocery stores. So if you want to snuggle back in your PJs and think like a kid again, you can also eat like one.
A new device was created by a Tampa man that sanitizes shopping carts more effectively. Reporter Julianne Salomon has more.
A shopping cart is one of the most touched items in a supermarket. Its handles are often covered in bacteria.
There's been a lot of studies that have shown it's almost one of the dirtiest things in a grocery store.
Adam Labadie was laid off at the start of the pandemic. Now he spends his days working in his garage, making changes and tweaks to an invention that he says would eliminate grocery store wipes.
They just hit the remote?
He created a product known as the Arch Cart Sanitizer, designed to clean shopping carts.
So we'll be sending out demos, free demos to grocers, some in the Northeast and some in the South in about 3 weeks.
Labadie says carts are sanitized using an EPA FDA-approved solution that kills COVID-19.
And they'll just pour it just like that.
He says he created the product after seeing so much trash while snorkeling and diving. He wanted to reduce the wipes we toss out. The father of 2 is now talking with several national grocery store chains.
It means a lot to work so hard and then hopefully see my baby come to life.
In Tampa, Julie Salmon, ABC Action News.
No word yet if the device will be adopted and used in grocery stores nationwide. Now, Alyssa, did you see that Stars game on Saturday?
I did. It was such a close game, but I know our sports anchor, Jennifer Holberg, was happy about the outcome. Jennifer?
Thanks, Alyssa. I honestly was at the edge of my seat through that entire game. It was insane. I will have more on the Stars and a UNT sports team that did play this weekend coming up after the break. The Cowboys fell to 1-2 on Sunday with a loss to the Seahawks. The Cowboys trailed by 8 at half, and despite Dak Prescott passing for over 450 yards, the Cowboys offense failed to score in the last seconds. Seattle's defense managed to hold Ezekiel Elliott to just 34 yards and intercepted Dak twice to help top Dallas. The Cowboys will host the Cleveland Browns this Sunday in hopes to become 500. In a thrilling double overtime win this past Saturday, the Dallas Stars managed to keep their Stanley Cup hopes alive against the Lightning. The Stars tied the game late in the third period with a goal from Joel Pavelski and a goal from Corey Perry in the second overtime to win and force a Game 6 against the Lightning. That game will be tonight at 7. The UNT women's golf team set a new program record yesterday in the opening round of the Schooner Fall Classic. They shot a .281, which broke the previous record they had set back in March. The team was led by junior Audrey Tan, and through 31 holes, she was tied for 5th at 2 under. The Mean Green finished earlier today and placed 4th in the tournament with senior Lauren Cox finishing in a tie for 3rd. That's all I have here tonight for sports, so back to you, Andrew, at the desk.
Looks like online shopping is becoming the new normal. Amazon Prime is just around the corner and is expected to be bigger this year than ever before. Set for October 13th and 14th instead of mid-July, Amazon is positioning this as the start to holiday shopping. From the start of the year, Amazon reported $88.9 billion in sales, a 40% increase from the same period last year.
Thanks for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow night at 6 here on North Texas Television. What happened there?